Have you ever wondered how a book is made? Well, in the last few years, I've actually had the chance to find out. For me, it started as an idea in my head that grew into a story. I was working with year six in a small group, and we had a picture, and we had to come up with an idea for this story that would to go with this picture. It was a picture of a little flight of stairs down into a room and a door in a wall, a very small door. And the boys in my group said, wouldn't it be fun to have a computer game in that door, behind that door, and we can get our characters into that room? But after much discussion, we came up with some ideas, but then it was the end of the lesson, and they went off and wrote their own stories. But that idea grew in my head. And every afternoon I'd go home from school and I'd listen to my own boys playing on their computer games with their friends. They'd be sitting there with their headphones and they'd all be playing in the same game. They'd have their own little avatars running around. And I thought, cool, wouldn't it be fun to have a boy get through the little door into a game and get stuck and have to have his friends help him out? And about 2 years ago, I actually had time to write the story. So the next stage is planning. How do you start? Well, for me, here's my plan. I don't know if you can see that. It's a very rough plan. It's not very good. And then I started writing. This is a plan. I actually started writing with pencil in a book. I don't know if you can see that either. It's very faint. Because I didn't have my computer with me when I started writing. So I had a little bit of an idea of where I was going with each chapter. And then I'd start writing it. And you know, when you're drafting at school, we say, oh, that needs changing, or the spelling's not quite right. So we had to do an awful lot of editing. I edited my story so many times. It took me over a year just to write it and to get it into the way that I wanted it. And even now I could go back and improve bits. We can always improve our writing. So how do we get on from there? Well, then came the first draft. So here was my first draft. I'd finished it. I wrote, pages and pages of it. And the next thing you need to do really is to be brave and ask people, can you read this book? Can you correct things? Or can you have ideas? Give me some feedback. Which bits are good? Which bits do we need to improve? Are there any words you don't understand? Are there any spellings I've got wrong? And you have to edit it. And you edit it until eventually I got it into a book form. You can see here it's very small. I asked some children in my class in year 4 now to read it for me and to highlight any words that they didn't know. Because what I decided it'd be quite nice to have was some words at the bottom of the page that may need explaining to help understand the story a bit better. So I had lots of help from people. I even had help then from a girl I know, a young lady who's at art college, and she did the illustrating for me. So here's some of the pictures. This is the main character. He's called Toby, and he has a little dog called Scamp. So these are some of the pictures that she came up with. But a book isn't just a little black and white picture on the front. Books have lovely covers. So what I did was I gave some pictures from the book to my mother, and she got out her watercolour paints and she painted them for me. And from that, I designed the cover of my book. So I had to think about the words, what I wanted on there. And I also got some people to write some reviews, and I put those on the back as well. In fact, there's a couple of children from school whose reviews are on my book. You have to write the acknowledgements, the people all that you want to thank, the people that have helped you and read the book through, helped you edit. So here's some more just pages of my book that I've edited. And eventually, after all of those stages, you end up with a manuscript that's a format that you can publish. Now, a lot of people at that stage, even before that stage, before they get an illustrator, someone to draw the pictures, they send it to publishing houses that will then promote your book and print it and help you market your book. But I kind of wanted to have control of my own book, and I was a bit impatient, I have to say. So I actually decided that I was going to publish it myself. So I found that Amazon have a publishing house, and they have a program that you can use to load your manuscript on, and it helps you format it correctly, and then you can upload the cover that you've designed, and you can make a book and you can sell it on Amazon. And that's what I've done. Here's my book. It's called Escape. Here's a boy, the brother of this boy here, who's the main character, who sees his brother in the game. That's why I've got a screen on the front. Here's the back of the book with some of the reviews. So that's my book. So, and I'm going to read you a couple of the first 2 chapters. If you like it, you can go on Amazon and buy it. I might even have some copies in school that you can buy.